Princess Charlotte will miss her big brother if George goes away to boarding school, royal experts have said. But the independent and outgoing Princess, 6, who is a little leader, will ultimately be fine without her big brother beside her, they added. With George set to turn 8 later this month, the same age William was when he left London to board, speculation is mounting that the young prince could follow family tradition. Both George and Charlotte currently attend Thomas's Battersea, which goes up to the age of 13. But Princes William and Harry both moved to Ludgrove School, Berkshire, from the age of 8, before studying at Eton. Gertrude Daly, who runs the Gert's Royals blog, told, Princess Charlotte will of course miss her big brother, as any child would. But she will be fine when Prince George heads off to boarding school. She seems like a very independent child. She added, I would probably be more concerned about Prince George and how he would cope being away from his safety net. Being in with new students who haven't grown up with a prince as a classmate and who are used to see Prince George and the Cambridge family on the news. Brittany Barger, deputy editor of Royal Central, agreed, saying of Charlotte, she's very independent and outgoing, so I don't think she needs her brother beside her. She may miss not seeing him at school, but she's not going to be upset that she's alone, I don't think. From what we've seen, she's a little leader, so I think she will be fine. Last month, the publisher reported the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge had been inquiring about schools in Berkshire for their children, as well as nearby homes. The paper claimed Kate Middleton and Wills do need to see raising their family in London as part of their long-term plans, although Kensington Palace would remain their base in the capital. The Cambridge's youngest Louis, 3, currently goes to Wilcox Nursery in Kensington. Earlier today, we revealed how William is privately comforting England players targeted with racist abuse. Prince George unlikely to be packed off to boarding school, royal expert says. Prince William and wife Kate Middleton have been looking at a wide variety of schooling options for George and not just the traditional locations for the royal family. Prince William is not planning for his son George to follow in his footsteps and head off to boarding school, a royal commentator believes. The Cambridges have been looking around Berkshire for homes and schools earlier this year, and it is claimed that they are considering different options for George and not just those traditionally favoured by royals, reports OK Magazine. Both William and his younger brother Prince Harry boarded at Ludgrove School in Berkshire from the age of 8 before moving to Eton at 13. Prince George turns 8 next month. But royal experts have told OK that Ludgrove is not currently in the running for George. It's my understanding for some time, possibly even before George was even born, that William was quite keen that any child he had wouldn't be packed off to boarding school, said royal author Duncan Larkham. Eton for William and Harry wasn't an unhappy time, apart from the fact it was when their mother died, which means William doesn't blame the school or the experience of boarding. But he's never intended to have his kids as full-time boarders, and if George does go to a school that offers it, he'll likely be a day boarder. Prince George, 7, and Princess Charlotte, 6, are currently attending private Thomas's Prep School in Battersea, southwest London, which takes children until they are 13. Their youngest child, 3-year-old Prince Louis, attends the Wilcox Nursery a stone's throw from their Kensington Palace apartment. Kate and William are modern parents and will weigh up the schooling decision very carefully, said royal insider Ingrid Seward. I think they'll wait to see how the children's personalities develop, and take into consideration whether or not they would be happy to live away from home. We're used to seeing the royals breaking with tradition these days, so it won't be a huge shock if they do things their way. I think William and Kate's view will be, if the children are happy in their school, why change things? If I was Kate though, I'd feel more secure if George, as heir to the throne, was tucked away at boarding school. He'll have more freedom there and he'll be very protected from any outside dangers.